Hello everybody, Coach Kevin here. Sorry, I'm a day late with my post. I was under the weather yesterday, but even still had a session. So today I'm gonna include a full week of sessions, 3 sessions on defending the cross. So obviously with defending and defending third, I'm gonna show you guys 3 sessions on what we did this week progressively. So on Monday, we did even numbers, small-sided games, where we kind of focused on 1, 2, 3 layers of coaching points where we focused on marking and tracking because a 1v1, 2v2 situation with just an unopposed cross. We coached the split vision, meaning seeing the player and the ball at the same time. And we coached on from how to go from zonal marking into man marking. So this is kind of what it looked like on Monday with the tactical pad, just to give you guys an idea. And I'll include that in the link here later. So unopposed, just a cross, and trying to coach the marking and tracking of the opponent, so acceleration on your toes. Second thing we focused was the split vision, meaning try to see the player and the ball at the same time. And then the third one that we focused on was trying to make sure that the body shape was correct, meaning if you turn your back to the ball, obviously you don't know where the ball is going to be played at, so do not have eyes, only have eyes for your opponent. Split vision is very important when you're defending. So that's why the X comes in. So we went from 1v1 in the box to a 2v2 situation where now you can actually focus on they all stay zonal, protecting the width of the goal, and then depending on where the ball is played to, they go from zonal into man marking. So those were basically the 3 coaching points that we had on Monday. I included this one towards the end on how to coach the clearances. Obviously, there's a big difference between example, an attacking header where you head down, a control header where you try to maintain possession like a pass, or a clearance header meaning high and wide. So I mentioned that on Monday because they were actually doing pretty well on that one. So that's what we did on Monday. Let me go back here. On Tuesday, session number 2, we had a half field available on Tuesday, so we went to a half field setup with a goalkeeper plus your back 4 and your 2 6s, because that's my structure. It's a 4-3-3 game model. Sorry, versus 3 attackers, so wingers and forward, and then the triangle in the middle. Um, uh, 6, 8, and 10 attacking. So that's where we added an extra layer. Obviously, we went back to the split vision, try to see the player and the ball at the same time. But then we also added 2 layers where we focused on protecting the width of the goal when they're defending and trying to connect the weak side, the weaker fullback connecting to the back line. So you still have 3 defenders protecting the width of the goal. Depending on your level and game tactical situation that you want to include, I include a player rotation as well, but I'll show you guys in the tactical pad right here where I use the center mids to cover for the center back if and when they actually stepped out. So this was the session. Um, so the weak side fullback connecting with the 2 center backs. That's one, and trying to protect the width of the goal. So second thing we focused on here. So defend the width of the goal. Again, right back steps out, and then we have the 3 remaining defenders protecting the width of the goal. So your weaker fullback, right here, the left back is connected to your remaining defenders. Obviously, emphasizing the split vision over and over again, very important. And then this was one that I focused on the player rotation, where it will happen where your left back, for instance, will press the ball carrier 1v1, and then your left center back is going in there for the pressure cover principle. If that happens, obviously this center back is leaving their area and leaving the space. So your 6s, in this case it's a 6, needs to recognize that and cover for him. So that's kind of what that play rotation looks like. And then the 6 will basically cover for that gap that your left center back left behind them. So that's the play rotation that I coached on Tuesday. Um, Again, very important that you show them what could be possible in a game so they know how to adapt and how to adjust. You can't be mad at the kids if you don't tell them what could possibly happen. Thursday, that was yesterday, so I'm sorry I'm late. I mentioned that. So yesterday, I always do a three-team rotation. My defenders play together, my midfielders, attackers are on one team, and then the subs are on one team. So you can do 4v4 plus 4. You can do 5v5 plus 5, depending on what numbers you have at practice. I only have one goalkeeper, so I have one big goal and two mini goals. If you have two goalkeepers, you can actually have two big goals. So the whole idea here was high intensity and a lot of repetitions on how to defend the cross. So you're looking for crosses and you're trying to mimic and have as many repetitions as possible in regards to crosses. So the crosses needs to come. So the bumpers, obviously unopposed. So when the attacking team, in this case the white team, passed the ball to one of the bumpers in the attacking half, those bumpers mandatory to cross the ball in front of goal. So again, you can coach the body shape, the split vision, protecting the width of the goal. You can coach the types of clearances and possibly coach the player rotations to connect to the back line. So it kind of look like this, and I'll stop and freeze it um, when something happens. So this is the initial setup, 5v5 plus 5 bumpers. Right, ball is played to the attacking half bumper from the attackers, and then you're looking at your center backs to get behind the ball, behind the line of the ball, and you can focus on their body shape. That's where the hook comes in here, right? And protecting the width of the goal. So obviously you're outnumbering the opponent. Uh, if you have your 3-4 defenders and your goalkeeper in a central area, obviously you're outnumbering the opponent. So that's one. You can coach the type of clearance if they win the ball. So high and wide. So in this case, it was on the ground. We lose the ball again. They rotate out. And this is a player rotation I wanted to show you guys again. So your right center back might step out. And then you're looking at one of your 2-6s or 6 and 8, whatever you want to call it, one of your pivots in front of your defense to cover for your center back who left that space. So you really want to protect the width of the goal, and you want to connect the back line, so there's always a rest defense and numbers up in a central area where you would protect the width of the goal. So that's what the setup was yesterday. We had a lot of repetitions, so I was able to coach a lot. So the next thing that you guys need to know is your physical periodization. How long do you have to do this for? Because this is a full session from yesterday. So this is basically an 75 to 85 minute session. Excuse me, still a little bit under weather. So we have 5v5, so you're looking at a 4-minute work, 2-minute recovery, so that's 6 minutes. You do that times 4, that's 24 minutes total. You do that a 4-minute rest, because you did it for 24 minutes, so that's 28 to 30 minutes, and 2 sets, so that's your 60-minute total. Not including your warm-up and not including your cooling down and stretching as a group. So this is a 75 to 85 minute session with a lot of repetitions. Right? So again, I don't want to go into the tactical breakdown with a lot of uh, like coaching points because I already mentioned it, but I just want to mention the main principles, the sub-principles, and how we need to coach it so you guys know the coaching points again. So obviously defending and defending third, we're denying the finish. Specifically, sub-principle, we want to protect the width of the goal when we're defending the cross. So defending the cross is the main topic. How do we defend the cross? You want to protect the width of the goal. How do we protect the width of the goal? Split vision, you need to see the ball and the opponent at the same time. Aggressiveness is a given, I did not mention it, but you want to be first on the ball. So challenge the ball if you think you can actually win the ball. And aggressiveness. So obviously speed, agility, acceleration, explosiveness, or just physical parameters I did mention, but obviously very important. How do we win the ball and how are we first on the ball? Mark and track your opponent. Again, the split vision. See what type of runs your opponent is making. Are they going near post, far post, or in the middle, or back behind the ball? Are they trying to attack the space between your back line and the goalkeeper? What is your goalkeeper doing? So marking and tracking. So going from zonal into man marking depending on what runs they make. So that's a switch to player marking. Um, so those are all coaching points. Intercepting, obviously, you want to see your defenders commit to the ball, not make a foul, but commit to the ball. You want to see them make a decision. And sometimes the forward is just faster than your defender. But the whole thing here is that you never give up because there's always an opportunity to perhaps block the shot. So even if you're a little bit late, you do not give up. You try to get in between the ball and your goal to possibly defend the shot, block the shot. Body shape adjustment and scanning. If you coach the split vision principle, they will adjust their body shape automatically. If you coach the split vision, the scanning will come automatically. If you coach the split vision, the marking will come automatically, right? Um, so that's it. One more thing. I know you guys know me by now, but I coach two teams. I'm an A licensed coach. I've done some work in a pro environment as well. I have some kids on the youth national team, both in the U.S. as well as Europe. MLS Next, do the scouting as well. But people tend to like my little resume here, so feel free to reach out to me so I can give you guys a template. But it tells you a little bit more about me, where I've been, who I've worked for, etc. So I'll include the link below as well. One more thing, my Instagram has about a little over 24,000 followers. I have about 14, 15,000 average views. So I document my periodization, my full season curriculum for soccer, for obviously elite youth players with coaching points and very specific player actions that are needed. But I also include real life footage and analysis from pro coaches out there. So I'll include my handle name as well over here. Obviously, you're watching YouTube, so you know who I am, but Instagram is the same at the Scouting Corps. I include my link below, but I thank you all for listening, and I'll be back on Monday, which is attacking third. Fun topic. Talk to you guys on Monday.